Hey guys, I'm back. I wanted to do a video on some of the accessories I use as a full-time videographer. Accessories that can help you earn more money by improving your workflow, getting more creative shots, by just improving your footage overall. So in this video, I'm going to go over 5 accessories I think every filmmaker or videographer should have. Let's get into it. Okay, so number 1 is portable lights. So portable lights are great. As you can see, I'm lighting the scene up. Oh, it's alright. Alright, fix it. As you can see, I'm lighting the scene up right now with portable lights over both sides. So I mostly wanted to talk about the light bar. So this is by far the most useful light I have, and I use this regularly, like every single week in my workflow. So obviously the small lights are very, very popular and really useful because they're so portable. This is the newer BH30S. I got this on Amazon for around 150, I think, Australian. I've used this so much. Obviously it's a lot bigger than these small ones, but this can still fit in a backpack. You can place it pretty much anywhere, add some attachments to it and clamp it anywhere you want. It attaches to tripods, whatever you need. Brightness is on 17% right now. So you got a little touchpad on the back. You can change the colors. We'll go up to 100. As you can see, that's very bright. Let's go back down. I use this in heaps of situations. It's great as a backup. It's great if I can't take my big studio lights with me, like the UL150s. This one, portable, obviously, no power supply, internal battery, rechargeable. RGB, really bright light, good color accuracy. These are really good. It's pretty light. How I use this most often is probably a hair light or a rim light. So I'll put this up behind a subject, create that kind of outer glow room effect. It's really good because if I'm doing a more portable shoot, I might only want to take one studio light. So then I can take this as a hair light. I can prop it up, and obviously this goes very bright. So I can prop this up a decent amount back, chuck it on a tripod or something. This will light up the back of them enough to make a big difference. And it's gonna really separate the subject from the background. So if you just put this to, like, say 5600, it's a great light that can complement your studio light. How else I'd use it is if the space is too confined to fit a big studio light and a tripod in, I can use a clamp on this, like for instance, a small rig clamp. I can attach this to a pole or something, and I can put this pretty much anywhere you can think of. The bigger the light source, the better the light's gonna look. So having a bigger, more diffused light source compared to these small ones, it's definitely worth it, and you're gonna get a lot better light source out of it. It's also app controlled, so I can turn this on and off right here. As you can see, you got the app right here. Yeah, very useful. Let's move on to number 2, small rig attachments. So it's some of the main clamps that I use. Small rig clamps like this and magic arms and things like that. So useful for so many situations. It saved me so many times. You can do pretty much anything with these. You can put them anywhere. You can clamp them on poles, on tables, anything. They're heavy duty. They can hold a lot of weight. You can clamp your camera up. You can clamp lights, portable lights. You can do so much with these. You can use them for your monitor, for your camera. There's so many situations where I use these. I can even use these smaller ones. I'll just clamp up sometimes a diffusion sheet or, prop up anything like that. Yeah, very useful. Highly recommend getting some. They're pretty cheap too. Number 3 is a camera monitor. It's actually on my camera right now. A camera monitor, dedicated camera monitor. I wasn't sure if I needed one. It took me a while to actually make the commitment to buy one. But after getting it, I'm so glad I made it because it's helped me so much. It's improved my footage. It's making life so much easier. So once you get one, you won't want to go back. So if you're on the fence about getting a camera monitor, just keep in mind that once you get it, you're not going to want to go back. I've got the Shinobi 5-inch monitor. Amazing monitor. I wouldn't recommend going with some of the cheaper options on Amazon just because getting a monitor, you want good quality because keep in mind, with a monitor, you're seeing how the footage is going to look. So if you're filming on an expensive camera, you want to see the best image possible to get it as accurate as possible. So you want the skin tones to be very accurate in camera. You want the lighting, exposure, everything to be accurate. So getting a high quality monitor, definitely recommend. I tried using my phone as a monitor for a while, and it's not very good. The skin tones aren't very accurate, the lighting isn't the best, you know, it's hard to judge exposure. Focusing, the quality isn't quite there. With the Shinobi or a dedicated camera monitor, it makes focusing so much easier. Since getting this, I've found that I've been doing a lot more manual focus, which is improving my footage because I'm not relying purely on autofocus. Because I can accurately see the focus. I don't have to look at this tiny little screen on the camera. And it's got all the other features, like you got waveforms, false color, focus peaking, all that kind of stuff. You can import LUTs in here so you can see what the footage will look like as you're shooting it, the final product. So I add my favorite LUT in here, the LUTs that I'll use with the footage. And then I can pretty much, if I'm showing the client the footage, they can see almost the final grade. So very useful, and you're gonna look a lot more professional having a monitor on the camera. You're gonna be able to see everything so much clearer. You're gonna be able to get focus clearer. You're not gonna go into the footage later and then realize someone's face was out of focus. So yeah, highly recommend a camera monitor. Number 4 is a ND filter. So I've got the Peter McKinnon ND filters, specifically a variable ND filter. So these are really good. You want to get a high quality ND filter, preferably. Like, you're paying so much money for a camera and a lens. You don't want to put a cheap bit of glass over your expensive lens. This is the ND filter. It pretty much just darkens the image. So this one is a 2 to 5 stop, and I've also got a 6 to 9 stop. Now, why these are so important is you want your shutter speed to be double your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 25 frames a second, you want your shutter speed to be 1/50 to get correct motion blur. So when you wave your hand, the trail after your hand, that blur, you want to look very natural, like how your eyes would see it. And the thing is, when you're shooting in bright conditions, you only have 2 options. You can either raise your aperture up, which is going to get rid of that really nice background blur, or you can raise your shutter speed, which is going to get rid of all motion blur, and it's going to make the footage look very sharp, kind of like an iPhone. iPhone footage looks, there's no motion blur. So if you're shooting in a very bright condition, adding an ND filter will allow you to lower your shutter speed back down and get that really nice motion blur. So it's going to make your footage look way more cinematic, way more professional, and less like iPhone footage. Now, the 2 to 5 stop is my most used one. That's the one most people will use. That'll go up to 5 stops darker. And the 6 to 9 stop I also have for very bright conditions, very harsh conditions. I use this shooting at Bondi Beach, actually. I was doing a 4-day shoot at Bondi Beach all day, and I had this on the entire day because it would have been way too bright even for the 2 to 5 stop. So this 6 to 9 stop saved the day, and it just made my footage look so much better throughout it. I was shooting for a documentary as well, so I needed really good looking footage. So having this just saved the day. It makes shooting in really harsh, bright conditions so much more manageable and makes your footage look amazing. ND filters, I think, are essential for filmmakers and videographers. Okay, so we're on to the final one, which is number 5, which is a hard case or a Pelican case. So right here I've got the Titan AV. I picked up really cheap. And as you can see, I'll cut out the foam and customize it to fit all my stuff in here. So I can put my lenses, I've got my drone in here, you know, little batteries. I pretty much use it to organize all my stuff. Also have some more. I have one right here, which is the Vanguard. I have some other small ones as well, some cheaper ones. A high quality hard case, why I think that's so essential is, you know, I've always had a high quality backpack. This is the Peak Design backpack. Like, first of all, I recommend this to anyone. A high quality backpack is essential for traveling. Why I'm adding a hard case to this list is because, well, number one, being able to keep all your stuff organized, laid out. After a shoot, you can put everything back in its exact position. It helps you when you're packing for a shoot to know where everything is, and just have everything organized. It's less stressful, you know, you have everything laid out, especially after you start getting more and more camera equipment. It's very nice just for the organization. And also when you get to a shoot, if you take this, just being able to open it up and have everything easily accessible. And also when you're packing up too, it makes packing up so much easier. You can just put everything in its spot, head home. Obviously it keeps everything very well protected when traveling, so if you're filming in harsher conditions, you know, these are going to keep your camera safe. Crush proof as well. If you're flying a lot, definitely recommend these. Another key benefit is it makes you look more professional. So showing up with a dedicated hard case is so much more professional than just showing up with a backpack. So it keeps your camera stuff safe, keeps everything organized, and makes you look more professional. So it's going to make you more money overall. Yeah, I keep all my main smaller camera stuff in here. Like I'll keep my cameras, my lenses, my drone, batteries. This one over here, I keep my UL150 light in, and cords and accessories. The smaller one I've got down there, I keep my gimbal. Highly, highly essential to have a high quality case that, you know, if you have to travel, your lights are protected, your equipment's protected, you don't have to worry about your cameras. If it's raining or something, you know, it just gives you that peace of mind. That's it for this video. This was part 1, so I'll do another part to this video, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe. I've got some good items in mind for part 2, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to be posting on YouTube way more. I've got so much equipment and so many cool things happening soon that I really want to start upping my YouTube game and, yeah, just putting out a lot more content. So yeah, also let me know in the comments what you want to see more of, what kind of content you want to see. If there's any specific items you want a in-depth review on, just let me know. Yeah, but let me know what kind of styles of videos you want me to do. I really want to blow up the YouTube. Let me know what you want to see, and yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for part 2.